Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. Just a brief note. I've been writing funny rhymes for kids for many years, and I turned it into a show. And I ended up performing that show in about 300 different schools and libraries over the course of a decade and a half, and actually made half a living at it as a performing poet for kids. And so I have all this work that I don't use much anymore. So tonight I'm going to feature my own silly rhymes, I guess is the way to call it. So this is going to be something a little bit different tone. I'm going to start with just a. This is not a rhyme. This is somebody else's poem. It's called A Brief for the Defense, and it's by Jack Gilbert. I'm just going to read a little section of it. We must risk delight. We can do without pleasure, but not delight, not enjoyment. We must have the stubbornness to accept our gladness in the ruthless furnace of this world. So he's heralding delight, and I hope that I can bring some delight tonight. These poems have no social value at all, other than they're being silly. So this is called The Alphabet. Something's missing there, isn't there? Something, the alphabet, right. So this is a crime story, and you're going to have to solve it. The alphabet was quite upset. Someone stole my letter. She knew she had to get it back before she could spell error. She asked a bouncing all, have you seen my letter? No, bounced all, I don't recall. I hope you soon spell error. She asked a bee that was the tree, have you seen my letter? No, bee, I did not see. I hope you soon spell error. She asked, a boy, his name was Troy. Have you seen my letter? No, said boy without much joy. I hope you soon spell error. She asked a burglar, a mean old burglar, have you seen my letter? Who, me? Well, how could that be? I hope you soon spell boo 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 boo. Who stole the letter? Okay. That's I love to make up words, so I'm going to read a poem that's all a lot of made up words in it, called Alien Counters. And I would teach the kids how to count to 10 in Umpopian language. Umpopian is a planet somewhere in the universe. And I met the Umpopians, and they taught me how to count to 10 in their language. So I'm going to teach you guys right now. It goes like this. On planet Umpopo, counting is fun. Umpos say oomp when they mean one. Oomp. 2 moons on Umpopo, one pink and one blue. Umpos think Zozo is perfect for 2. 3 bulging eyes are how Umpos see. Zozo, soup is counting to 3. 4 fangs are dripping with each Umpo roar. Listen, Roomba, the roaring of 4. 5 winged creatures that thrive in a hive. Ooflan of them flapping. Ooflan, that's a 5. 6 slimy tongues all getting their licks. Each susum mouth has susum, that's 6. 7 antennas sticking for heaven, reaching for heaven. Out of each head, big hokla, 6, 7. 8 crooked fingers with claws that go sharp. Claws that go straight. On moonja, all 8. 9 purple thorns stick out of each spine, not good for tickling. That's Sigzan, that's a 9. 10, each Umpo tail the strength of 10 men. If you're still counting, Zlignit makes 10. Now let's recount them, starting from 1. Zozo, Soup, Marumba, Uflan, Susum, Hokla, Moonja, Zigzan. Schlignit makes 10. Our counting is done. All right. Now this is a poem. This is more of a fable. I always say to the kids before I read this poem, I said, You have to tell me at the end, is this a happy ending or a sad ending? Let's see what you guys think. It's called A Dog's Tale. Old Sasha dog, she lost her tail and searched to no avail. It was the saddest thing to see this noble dog of pedigree with no wag, no point, no swish, nothing hanging from that tush. Poor Sasha took this very hard and sulked about her master's yard until one day there was, alas, something moving in the grass. She approached it with some newfound hope. Was it long lost tail or just some rope? What she found, for goodness sake, was a sad and forlorn snake who had lost her mother's trail, knew nothing of poor Sasha's tail. It's long, said Sash, and had soft fur. I really was attached to her. Can't you help me find my prize? Well, she was just about your size. Well, Snake was taken quite aback. She just wanted mommy back. Maybe we can help each other. Maybe you can find my mother. Both this deal made quite good sense. So soon a search they did commence. They searched the yard, they searched the brush, they searched the grass where it grew lush. And though they left no stone unturned, by end of day they had returned. Empty-handed, I'm afraid, collapsed together in the shade, where both did softly start to weep. Exhausted soon, they fell asleep. Now Sasha was the first to rise, and through her still quite sleepy eyes, she thought for sure that she could see her tail, but it was not to be. No, it was just our little snake, who for a moment did too mistake Sasha for her mother dear, as she lay so soft and near. And that's when inspiration struck. Why, this is really quite good luck, said Snake to her newfound friend. Oh, it's not hard, I can pretend to be your tail, your happy swish. I can be the answer to your wish. And you too can be another. You can be my pretend mother. And with these words, she soon made track and crawled on top of Sasha's back, where her end she stuck right out, and wiggled and wagged it all about. A tail, it's mine. There's never been a tail so fine, said Sasha, who had perked right up like a frisky little pup. Now, if you see this dog and snake and ponder the odd pair they make, remember that life, it sometimes will leave us with a hole to fill. But if you're open and you heed, life will offer what you need. Happy ending or sad ending? I would say it was a bittersweet ending. A couple of short ones. This is called Wean the Brain. Wean the Brain had much to gain from reading the Thesaurus. One day he looked up choir, the next he joined a chorus. When his studies earned a trophy, he thanked them for his prize. Was it unexpected? Well, it was a big surprise. Yes, Wean the Brain had much to gain from reading the Thesaurus until his leaky boat went down and his drowning word was Boris. Okay, didn't like that one. Okay, all right. The Octopus. This one's more for the dull audience anyway. The Octopus was mortified to learn he could be deep fat fried. Tentacles were soft and sweet, and butter softs and durum wheat. Really was not quite the fate he had pictured for his 8 lovely, long, and limber arms. Oh, what a waste of all his charms. I will not end up in their stew, cried the angry creature who then hatched himself a plan. I'll pretend that I'm a man. He bought some glasses and a hat, a fake mustache, and that was that. In fact, he almost made it work, except one man, his name Dan Kirk, who sniffed around and got suspicious of 8-armed man who smelled delicious. So it wasn't a surprise when Kirk uncovered the disguise. So proud he was of his great hunch that Octopus was served for lunch. 8 courses worth, each one a thrill. Though by the last, Dan Kirk felt ill, for through some power of suggestion, he soon died of indigestion. Okay, guys like the circus? This is a circus act that went to a little bit to his head and to his belly. It's called Tremendous Stupendous. Tremendous Stupendous were yellow suspenders. He wore them real tight to hold his rear enders. He worked in the circus by definitely dare, shot from a cannon, hurled to the air, fast as a bullet. That was his claim. Made him his fortune, brought him his fame, which started the trouble. He grew lazy and fat. Most human cannonballs know better than that. Rehearsals grew short, dinners long. And of course, one night, something went wrong. Boom went the cannon. The crowd gave a shout. Boom went the cannon, but nothing came out. He stuck, called it Heckler. Cannonball stuck. That overweight daredevil's run out of luck. Get me out of here. Out, he's pleading. Get me out of here now. The helpers tried to help her, but didn't know how. Starve him, said one. We'll serve that man right. Starve him they did for 5 days and nights. And on the 6th, his stomach grumbled. Let go a big cannonball rumbled. Hopped like a cork on New Year's champagne. Releasing Stupendous, releasing his pain. Higher and higher to the top of that tent. You can still see the poles where he left that dent. That's where he landed, shaken and pale. His yellow suspenders caught on a nail, dangling out there almost 8 stories high, wondering if he'd live or he'd die. It took 16 firemen, all they were worth, to haul that big man back down to the earth. Shaken and humbled, he crumbled and cried. That, my dear friends, was my final ride. Today he's a thin man. Today he's svelte. Today he wears pants with a regular belt. Today when a cannon booms its demands, Stupendous just watches and waves from the stands. His yellow suspenders still hang from that roof. They left them up there to be living proof. Say you grow famous, admired by folk. Be sure you don't end as the butt of their joke. Could happen, you know. Did to Stupendous, all because he didn't watch his rear enders. Okay, I'm going to switch gears a little bit. Something that's not so much funny, and it wasn't for my kids' show, but something for a picture book I wrote and hasn't been turned into one yet, called Wonder Soup. Today we're making Wonder Soup. It's wonderful, you'll see. And when our Wonder Soup is done, we'll full of wonder be. We'll start it by a mountain stream, high up near the source. The water crisp and crackling. We'll taste it first, of course. If it's as good earth makes, we'll fill our wonder pot, slosh it round and round and round, and start to make it hot. Soon the sky will curl up dark, the sun will pull the shade, the stars will twinkle, twinkle, twink, their beauty on parade. By now our water is simmering, we'll slice in season's fruit, apple, mangoes, nectarines, sweet wonder given root. We'll lay this night on carpet earth, purple skies above, and while we sleep our soup will steep in all the wonders of. By morning soup will still be warm, we'll add a dash of dew, pebbles from a nearby bed, and flower petals too. And then it's off to see the sea, the sea-swelled sea. We'll poke our toes, hold our nose, and dive in happily. We'll gather kelp and ask for help from schools of passing pike. They'll take us to the teeming floor and show us what it's like. They'll offer pearls and praises. We'll gather both for free. Our soup will be the richer for something from the sea. Then to air we'll take our turns. To air in all its turnings, we'll ride a gust and give our trust to wonder's deepest yearnings. Our need for love, for spring and bonnets, for banners to be waved, for mamas, papas, grandmamas, and the memories they've saved. For wonder is, if nothing else, a blessing to be shared. Sit down, a bowl with spoon of life. Our wonder soup's prepared. Fill your bowl up to the brim. Let it splash on over. Stir it with a saucy spoon and honey fresh from clover. Go ahead and dig on in. Messes are allowed. With wonder soup, you'll always be. Wow, wow, wow. All right, I'm gonna do this silly poem. This is the star of my show, this poem, and because it's interactive, the kids get to do part of it. You'll figure it out. It's called I Really Love My Brother, but I really love my brother, but that's your part. I'd rather have an other. I really love my sister, but I'd rather have a blister. I really love my cousin, but just one out of a dozen. I really love my cat, but she's lazy and she's fat. I really love my dog, but he lays there like a log. I really love my room, but it really needs perfume. I really love my grandpa, but he looks a lot like grandma. I really love my dad, but I always make him mad. I really love my mother, but she had my little brother, and I really love my brother, but I'd rather have a honey. Yeah, Mom, honey, you know how much you love your little brother. Well, guess what? What, Mom? I'm going to have an other. Oops. It's called knowing. We only know that we can never know, that we can never know a lot. Just bits and pieces of this or that, and one or two things I already forgot. This is called a hand. You got to hand it to the hand. It's very handy and makes a number of good points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, unless you count the joints. Okay. Wild Bill Hiccup and Wyatt Burp. Wild Bill Hiccup and Wyatt Burp were legends of the West. Though Burp's legend came and went, Hiccup stood the test. Hiccup was kind. Hiccup, nobody was much amused when neither asked to be excused. Hiccup, the end. Hiccup, hiccup, hiccup. I think I'll end on that. Okay. That's it. That's my series of delightful poems. I hope you enjoyed them.
Unmute, ladies and gentlemen. Give them some applause for that. That was actually, I could see the kids. I was a teacher for many years. I could just see it. All that stuff, especially the counting. That was beautiful. Let them hear it. Come on, ladies and
Amazing. Everything going on in me. I had the child in me present, I had the mother in me present, the grandmother, and I've done children's stories online. And I'm like, and you're doing method writing with the hiccup and the snake and like just everything. It's fantastic. It was so fun.
I was watching your face the whole time because you were giving me really good energy back.
I felt such a child, and it's wonderful to return there. Bless you. Fantastic.
Every rabbi would congratulate you on making up your own language. That's what it's all about.
There you go. That's what we're talking here.